Why a Woman Fatter Than Man. This is an amazing book I read recently, and these are some of the things I took away from it. First things first, our adipose tissue is actually an organ, and it evolved from the same ancient organ as our liver and parts of our immune system. Second, because this is very timely, a lot of women these days do get liposuctions, but did you know that women that get liposuctions around their hips and thighs grow their fat back in different places? So for example, the arms. BBLs specifically are quite risky because fat from the stomach is injected into the butt, which is full of blood vessels, which is risking a fatty embolism because the fat breaks into the bloodstream and might migrate somewhere vital like the heart, the lungs, or the brain, where it then causes a blockage. The third interesting thing is that women's fat isn't the same as men's fat. Each fat deposit in our body behaves differently. So for example, the fat that we have in our butts and our upper thighs are long chain fatty acids coming from our diet, so our liver can't make it from scratch. And actually, bodies that are pregnant do need that fat deposit to make the baby's brains and retinas. This is incredible. If this does not make you appreciate the fat around your butt and your thighs, I don't know what will. These fat deposits in our buttocks and our thighs are usually the first places where we gain or the last places where we lose fat. But in the last trimester of pregnancy, when the fetus ramps up to their brain development and starts its own fat stores, this is where the mother's body starts retrieving and dumping these fats from the buttocks and thighs into the baby's body. This special hoovering from the mother's fat continues throughout the first years of breastfeeding, which is the most important time for the brain and eye development of the baby. And as just mentioned, our liver can't build these fats from scratch. So since we as women can't get enough of those fats from our daily diet, our body starts storing them from early childhood. Another interesting fact on this is how much of those fats a girl has might be one of the best predictors for when she'll get her first period. Our ovaries only kick in once we have stored enough of these fats, and when we lose too much weight, the period stops. I'm amazed by our body, seriously. Most women's bodies are preparing for pregnancy during childhood already. And that is not because it's our destiny, but because it's the hardest process that our body has evolved to help us survive. In science, there's a thing called male bias, which is when studies focus on male subjects only and not female subjects. And one outcome of that problem is that people should have asked years ago what happens to women or women's bodies during pregnancy when they had a liposuction that prevents fat from recovering. Because as just mentioned, that fat is vital.